everybody, this is Brian David Marshall coming to you from the Pro Tour set at Magic Weekend Nagoya. I'm here with Magic Brand Manager Mark Purvis, and we're going to talk about the new Magic the Gathering Commander product that's going to be released
June 17th.
Yeah, any day now.
Yeah.
And when you say release, what does that really mean?
Well, Commander is a format that's been around for quite a while, as you know. I know you're a big fan.
I am.
But we're actually releasing a deck products that will support Commander as a format, and it's called the Magic the Gathering Commander decks.
Okay, so now a lot of you have probably heard me talk about Commander. Some of you may have heard me refer to it by an older name called EDH.
Right.
The format is simply a singleton format, means you can only play one of any card other than basic lands. Stop me if I'm getting anything wrong. 99 cards in your main deck, and you play, your deck is built around a commander.
That's right. And the commander has to be a legendary creature.
So for example, Oros the Avenger.
Right.
And so if you're playing with Oros, then the only cards in your deck, they can only have red, black, or white mana symbols on the cards.
That's right.
Or artifacts.
Your commander determines the colors of the rest of the cards in your deck, essentially. So if you're playing Oros, you can't play a card that has blue in its casting cost.
Right. No counterspell in an Oros deck, for example. So the commander decks are coming out. There's going to be 5 of them.
That's right. So every year for the last couple of years, we've been putting out a multiplayer product. And Commander is a multiplayer casual format. But there's a couple of things that make the Magic the Gathering Commander decks different from Plane Chase or Archenemy, which are the products we put out the last couple of years. So one of the biggest differences is that, as you said, Commander's been around for a while, and it was a format that was created by the fans. So we actually worked with some of the people that have been maintaining the Commander community and developing these decks. And so there is a outside committee of people that determine the rules for Commander, and they have a website, and we've been working with them on making sure that we're making some decks that support that community. And
so there's 5 decks, and they're each built around different sort of wedge, what we call wedge colors.
That's right. So as you mentioned, the legendary creatures determine what the colors of your deck are. And if you look throughout Magic's history, there are very few legendary creatures that are wedge colors. That means 2 allied and 1 enemy colored. And Oros is an example of a wedge legend. He was originally in Planar Chaos. And you can see that the allied colors are black and red, and then the enemy color is white. So the other really big difference between this release and Plane Chase and Archenemy, for example, is that it is the first time in Magic's history where there are new cards in these decks. There are 51 brand new Magic cards across the 5 Magic the Gathering Commander decks. And one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to, as I said, support the community. And one of the things that we know that the community has been asking for is more wedge legends. So if you want to play these 3 colors, you don't have a lot of options. So one of the first things that we did is that we designed 2 new wedge legends to go in each Commander deck.
And when you say we designed, you were actually on the design team for this game.
I've I work on the business side of things, but I've been on a couple of development teams, and this was my first design team. But I've been playing Magic for a long time, and I used to play a lot of multiplayer casual decks, and some of my favorite decks were giant angel-themed decks or dragon-themed decks, and so I was able to use that experience and use that love for those themes to create some of the cards in this deck.
You wrote a great article, I think it was earlier this week or last week. I'm in Japan, so my time sense is all skewed, about the creation of Tariel Reckoner of Souls. That was a great piece. It really gives you an insight into like every detail of creating a Magic card all the way through to printing it.
A lot of people put a lot of love into this product, and there's a lot of people that are excited for the release next week because of all of the unique things that are going on with these decks.
Right. So you said 51 new cards.
Yep.
I gotta tell you, a card I'm very excited about is Command Tower.
Sure. So this is in every deck. It has a common symbol, which means it's across all 5. This is all upside if you are playing the Commander format. It taps for any color that your general is. All 3 color decks need some mana fixing, and you can't do much better than this in the format. We also took the opportunity to make cards that play well in multiplayer casual. So we created a new mechanic called Join Forces. And
I don't like join forces.
is it because it's always going to be used against you?
I feel like people are always going to be putting all their mana into the mana charge dragon and killing me. I don't like it.
Well, I am a big fan, especially of this card, because it can be put into play with the primary general of this deck, Kalia of the Vast, the primary commander.
Yes, this card is kind of scary.
Yes, so she is pretty inexpensive. She is another wedge legend, and you can use her to get the big angels, demons, and dragons that are in this deck into play pretty quick. So she's a lot of fun. So I wanted to talk about these oversized cards that you see behind
what's going
all
on
these.
here?
So each Magic the Gathering Commander deck comes with 2 new wedge legends, a reprint of the legendary dragon that is a wedge legend, and then also oversized foil versions of these. These are kind of optional, but it is a way for you to represent what your commander is on the table in a pretty pimpin' way.
I like these
Yeah.
giant sleeves.
So we've been working with Ultra Pro, and very shortly they're going to be releasing these oversized sleeves, which work with Plane Chase Planes and Archenemy schemes. And then this deck box, which holds 100...
I'll do a little Vanna White here.
That's perfect. 100 sleeved cards, and it also holds the oversized cards in the back. It has enough for you to hold, I think, around 25 sleeved oversized cards in the back. And there's a little pocket on the bottom where you can even put some dice to keep track of your life.
Sweet.
So in addition to all of the great new cards that are in this product, there are a lot of very strong reprints.
From throughout Magic's history, right?
That's right. We know that a lot of people who are familiar with Commander have a little bit of they're a little bit intimidated by putting together a 100-card singleton deck. And these decks are meant to be a great way for you to jump into the format because they're filled with staples for the format. Right. Every single deck has a Lightning Greaves, for example. Every single deck has a Sol Ring, for example, and we used to, wait. There's the
oh,
Sol
come on,
Ring.
really? You're gonna make me?
First time we've ever printed it in Japanese, by the way. So these decks are gonna be available in French, German, English, Spanish, and Japanese and Italian.
So cards from throughout history, so there's gonna be a lot of people who just pick these decks up and play, but there's also gonna be a lot of people who, like me, play Commander who are gonna sort of strip these for parts.
Sure.
Right, and like they're gonna go into like various other builds that you have, and they're just gonna be a great, like tool, almost like a deck builder's toolkit for Commander.
Absolutely, yes. There are other new cards that are single colors that can go into many different decks. There's a cycle of vows here, which are fun for politics because all of them give a bonus to a creature, but then that creature can't attack you. So you can either put it on your own creature for a benefit, or you can put it on someone else's creature and ensure that they're not going to beat you with it.
That's pretty sweet. This is a card people seem to love talking about the multiplayer politics.
That's right. That's the everybody but you card. So if somebody's being a big jerk at the table, or if somebody's way ahead in the game, then you can cast Death by Dragons, and you can choose the player who is the problem, and everybody else at the table gets a dragon.
Sweet.
There's also a new enemy color legendary creature in every single deck. So in the Heavenly Inferno deck, it's Bassandra Battle Seraph. And by enemy color, I mean 2 colors that are not normally next to each other. So she's red and white. And again, in Magic's history, there haven't been a whole lot of legendary creatures that are enemy colors.
Right. I'm a blue-green player. I play Momir Vig, so I know it's like I don't have a lot of options at blue-green. I have Momir Vig and basically the big guy. What's his name?
Well, now you have Edric, the Spymaster of Trest,
right,
which is a new blue-green legendary creature in one of the decks. And his ability is great for Commander, because what he says is, whenever a creature does damage to one of your opponents, that creature's controller draws a card. So, of course, it affects you, and it allows you to draw cards when you hit anybody, but it also encourages everybody else at the table to attack everybody but
Right, don't
you.
attack me. If you attack someone else, you're going to get to draw cards. If you attack me, you're just going to be attacking me.
That's right. So that's Magic the Gathering Commander in a nutshell. We're super excited about this. There are going to be set celebration parties at stores around the world the weekend of the 17th to the 20th. And there's going to be a participation prize at those stores where you will have the opportunity to get oversized foil versions of the 2-color commanders at these events. And it's the only place you're going to be able to get them.
Oh, that's super exciting.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be there. For Mark Purvis, this is Brian David Marshall signing off from the Tournament Center at Magic Weekend Nagoya.